On today's episode of Phinside The NFL, powered by BetUS, a former Dolphin safety from last year's roster doesn't have too many nice things to say about the Miami Dolphins. We'll go over what he said and the responses from his former teammates and former coaches. The Miami Dolphins made a shocking waive today as David Long Jr. within the last half hour has been waived by the Miami Dolphins as they claim a tight end, and it's clearly fallout from Walker taking his job and Dotson being claimed yesterday. We'll talk about all of that and so much more. Plus, we have some help coming to the offensive line very, very soon. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's talk about it all. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into this.
Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it! You have got to be kidding me. Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score! Field on the near side, man open. Touchdown! The run from Tua Tagovailoa. Touchdown! He's going deep. He's got it for the touchdown again!
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We're back here for another one. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Appreciate all of you coming through on this Wednesday as things continue to change in Miami. Listen, we talked about it with Raheem Mostert coming off of having no carries. And we'll go even further than that. It seems like the Miami Dolphins, we'll go even further than that today when we talk about what went down. But it seems like accountability is starting to be taken in the building. Now, albeit, I know some of you want accountability falling on McDaniel and Greer's head for the lack of contingency plan at quarterback, the lack of depth at offensive line. I get it. And those are only a few basic roster construction. You know what I mean? Like whether it be you're mad that AVG's gone, whatever the case may be. I know people want accountability, but listen, it seems like accountability is starting to be put on players' heads, and which is kind of contrary to what DeShon Elliott was talking about today, but we'll talk about all that. But man, it's an interesting time. Like, you got to ask yourself, is it a little too late? Should you have started, for example, either making him inactive, which is a version of benching him, or just flat out benching Julian Hill early in the season? At least they caught the Long thing before it started to hurt you in big moments, right? Walker's been fantastic. We'll break down some All-22 today. And, when I was going through the All-22, there are a couple plays where Brooks and Walker Jr. are just in sync and they make good, they have good gap integrity and they finish the play. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll see. And listen, Knight, remind me when I get into the clips, ask this again, because I do want to talk about that. You make a good point. I think you're half right. I don't think you're fully right. I think you're half right. And I'll explain why when we get into it in a bit here. But yeah, it's the accountability train. David Long Jr. got left on the tracks after Mostert got put on the tracks last week. But shout out to everyone who's coming through the chat. It's it's just nice. We all wanted accountability, and at least they're showing some. It's just a matter of, is this too little, too late? You are basically in the thinnest margin of error possible part of your season due to the fact you can only really afford to lose one more game. If you win every game but one to the end here, like I've said for weeks, you will finish 10-7. You lose 2 and you win the rest of them, all of a sudden it's 9-8. And the problem is, like we went over yesterday in the playoff chances portion of the show, the Dolphins right now don't face anyone that's ahead of them in the standings in the AFC in the remainder of their schedule. That Colts loss, man, that's tough. Because the Colts are like one game ahead of us right now. And we would have won that, we'd be flipped. And really, we'd be right on the heels of 7 because we'd be 4-5 while Denver, who's in 7, is 5-5 right now. So we'd be right there. Cycling says 10-7, you need tiebreakers, we need to win out. Brother, I'm just trying to be realistic as possible. Do I think this team has the talent to win out? Sure. Injuries might be a little too much in the end here, but sure. I'm not even setting my expectations to them only losing. I'm setting my expectations to us missing the playoffs. So if they do make it, I'm pleasantly surprised. Because it's time to be pleasantly surprised this season. Jesus. But I don't know. I got a hard time believing they'll win the rest of they'll go through the rest of the schedule with only one loss. Winning out, that'll be tough. But hey, they're getting bulletin board material right now from people flapping their gums. They're getting some motivation. Are we going to see it translate into W's, into big wins for this team? I mean, we're going to find out, right? We are going to find out. That's for sure. So, and I'll tell you one thing, and I've said this before, if this team makes the playoffs, this is going to be their best shot at winning a playoff game. And you're going to look at me crazy right now like I got 3 eyes and 2 heads. But I'll tell you why. I want my theories behind that. If they find a way to make it to the playoffs at 10-7 or winning out or whatever the case may be is here, they're in a position right now where they can only afford to lose one game. Every game is a playoff game. Every game is a playoff scenario. And I told you, the toughest games I think they have left right now are what? The Texans, Stroud's in a sophomore slump. The 49ers, they just got McCaffrey back, so they're going to be tough because Purdy's balling. And what would the other, we all thought the Browns game would be tough, but then I would say the Packers game. So I would say the Packers, the Niners, and the Texans are probably your toughest games. That's, you can literally, listen, if you win out, if you beat those 3 teams, win out this schedule, and make it to the playoffs, they're going to win a playoff game. Because holy shit, you basically do or die. If you look at it, you're do or die for the next, 8 weeks? You're do or die. So, if you can perform against those caliber of teams on the road, like Green Bay, back up against the wall, sign me up. But let's get to 500 before we start talking about that kind of stuff. Playoffs. I'm just trying to win a game. So we'll see. Like I said, this video, it is sponsored by BetUS. The Week 11 NFL schedule with betting odds are live on BetUS.com right now. I will be at the Miami and Vegas game this weekend at The Rock. The night before, I'll be at the Panthers-Jets game. So it's a sports weekend in FLA for your boy Reason. I'll be landing in Fort Lauderdale at about between 5-6 o'clock. Then I'll be getting to the Airbnb. Then I'll be heading over to the Panthers and Jets game. And then after that, the next day we'll be at the Raiders and the Dolphins game. So shout out to that. Can't wait. Jennifer Forbush will be tagging along with me. Douglas Durong will be out there as well. So a bunch of us will be down there. So if you're coming through, make sure you say hi. But the games are live on BetUS.com. Go to BetUS.com right now. Use promo code YouTube150. That's YouTube150. Get your first 3 deposits matched up to $2,000 by 150%. Some of the quickest payouts in the industry. 24/7 customer service. BetUS. Thank you for sponsoring this show, this channel, and being a partner for this season. And people, go use that promo code YouTube150 because the Dolphins are winning this week against the Raiders. Gardner Minshew or no Gardner Minshew. Okay? Let me say that. Now, let's get rolling. So, a lot of moves today by the Miami Dolphins. Today, they decided to be super active. I don't know what's going on here. The Miami Dolphins, when you look at what they did today, started off with them signing Hayden Rucci to the practice squad. So we had a commenter in the chat yesterday said, hey, it's nothing big, but I've got inside info that Hayden Rucci is going to be joined back to the practice squad. Shout out to the gentleman who put that in the chat yesterday. Your name is escaping me right now. So Hayden Rucci to the practice squad. He was dead on. He was right. Hey, even if I'm not breaking it, the chat's breaking it. Stuff you can only find on Phinside The NFL. We had this info yesterday in the chat, courtesy of a gentleman who was plugged in. So shout out to you, Hayden Rucci, back on the practice squad. Jennifer Forbush, somewhere in Massachusetts right now, is doing backflips, cartwheels, anything you can name. She is beyond happy. You know, Christian Wilkins may be gone, and we may be, watching, not seeing him in aqua and orange this weekend when we chill, but at least she'll have a smile on her face because Hayden Rucci's back. More news for the Miami Dolphins, as it seems that offensive line help is on the way. Isaiah Wynn's practice window will open today. Per Mike McDaniel, has not played since injuring his quad in week 7 of last season. Look at this. Come on. Gotta love it. A little Isaiah Wynn action? Come on. Who expected this? Not me. Now, I don't expect, listen, if we can get him back for the Packers game, let's go, baby. Because Lester Cotton reps, I don't know what PFF was grading because they gave him a decent rep. I don't know what grade. I don't know what the hell they were grading because I saw stuff that was not good from Lester Cotton yesterday, but okay. But Isaiah Wynn back, and, the first injury report, it did actually come out today, and we could see that when you look at Isaiah Wynn on it, that quad injury he had, they listed him as having knee injuries and knee issues. So obviously, he had a setback in rehab, and clearly the quad injury led to other issues in his knee. And there you go. The hometown homie, so happy Wynn is back. My God, just get Robert Jones and get Lester Cotton off my, and take Julian Hill if you want, but get him off my TV screen, please. I see people jacking my get him off my TV screen take on X too. I'm the only dude who says get these guys off my TV screen, and now other people are starting to take it. Okay, hey, knock yourself out. But Isaiah Wynn coming back, that is a fantastic potential addition to the offensive line. Really, it gives Aaron Brewer a guy next to him. That left side, if Armstead stays healthy, that left side is going to be dominant. And we are going to run the football, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we lost Austin Jackson, but this might balance it out. Isaiah Wynn coming back might balance this out. Oh, baby, oh, baby. I can already see the holes for Achane. Achane's going to break. Mark my words. Isaiah Wynn comes back before the end of the season. Achane breaks off 2 50-plus yard runs. Watch. Here it comes. This kind of balances itself out. Now, the right side's still weak, but that left side, dominant if he can get back to form. Elpad says, could Wynn move back to right tackle? I wouldn't recommend it. He wasn't great at right tackle. Was not great. He's better on the left side. He is 110% better on the left side. Remember, he came into the league as a left tackle, right? He played in college. He played left guard and left tackle. Then he got shifted to right tackle after Dante Scarnecchia, one of the best offensive line minds of the last 25 years, left New England and retired. All of a sudden, they started moving Isaiah Wynn around, and they couldn't find a fit for him. And Dante Scarnecchia was right. He said if he gets out of New England, that kid still got talent. He can be something. And we saw what he could be at left guard. He just got hurt. So, you keep him at guard. Sign Nate Davis. I don't think they'll sign Nate Davis because of Wynn coming back. And also, I think Nate Davis is still owed about $3.9 million in guaranteed money if a team claims him. Could they claim him? Sure. And he's been decent. He was benched this year, but it seemed more of an attitude thing. Right? Like he showed up all of a sudden. They were going to start him, and he showed up all of a sudden with a back problem. It seems more like Nate Davis didn't want to be in Chicago and got his kind of way. So I don't know if the attitude's going to affect him. I assume because of the $3.9 million tag a team has to pick up, I assume he'll clear waivers. That's what I assume, is that he's going to clear waivers because of that. All right, some big news today. The Miami Dolphins, they claimed Jack Stahl off waivers from Philadelphia. Remember, Tanner Connors was put on IR, and they waived David Long Jr., a man who was a captain last year, a man who was one of the highest graded run stoppers in the NFL at linebacker last year, waived for a guy who has 20 receptions in 20 games started and 183 yards since 2021. Now, here's the thing about Jack Stahl. To me, Jack Stahl, he fits kind of what they want in this offense. He ran a 4.68. Right? Like he has from out of Nebraska, ran a 4.68. He's 3'6" and a half, 247 coming out. You look at him, he had a really explosive broad jump. It was like 9'11". He had a really good 20-yard split, 2.66. Again, the 4.68 40-yard dash at 6'3" and a half, 247 at the time was really good. I'm sure he's fallen, but in 2021, he had the 189th highest RAS score of tight ends to that point, and there had been 927 tight ends that had RASs up until that point. He was 189th. You look at his 3-cone, 6.86. He's a good athlete. He's got good speed to him. It's an interesting addition for when you look at what he might be able to do in this offense. Now, David Long. Wow. Anthony Walker has been playing fantastic. Lights out. took his starting job. They went and added Tyrell Dodson, who I'm sure Mike McDaniel, the head coach in Seattle, gave a good word to Anthony Weaver about. Remember, they were both in Baltimore together. And adding Dodson, you know what's funny? I was on the phone with someone yesterday, and I said to them claiming Tyrell Dodson tells us everything we need to know about what they think about David Long Jr. right now. And literally the next day, David Long Jr. has been released. I don't know. That's to not even make it through the season. You guys won't release a guy like Channing Tindall, but you'll drop David Long Jr.? That tells you everything you need to know about what they thought about David Long Jr. And it ain't that good at all. You know, I just thought they wouldn't re-sign him. I'm shocked they flat out said, yeah, peace. Now, he had a $4.5 million base salary this year. Only $1 million of that was guaranteed. Dolphins will save a little over $2 million from cutting him. We've seen it all year. He's making mistakes, whether it's shooting the wrong gap. He just looked lost out there. He's terrible in coverage, worse than he's normally been. He wasn't offering us what he had been offering us in run support. I'm just shocked that I'm just shocked it happened this quickly, And here's hoping we stay healthy. Holy jeez. My Lord. Very surprising. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Very surprising that they went this drastic this quickly with them. So here's more on the David Long release. After ranking him on the top run-stopping inside linebackers of football, David Long Jr. lost his Dolphins starting job 2 weeks ago. Now he's out of a job altogether. The Dolphins released Long on Wednesday, less than 3 months after he was voted a team captain. In a corresponding move, Miami claimed tight end Jack Stoll on waivers from Philly. Signed by the Dolphins to a 2-year, $12 million deal as a free agent 20 months ago, Long led the Dolphins with 113 tackles last season, and PFF rated him the NFL's best inside linebacker against the run. But his pass defense was always a shortcoming here, and he struggled in general early this season, particularly in the Cardinals game. Anthony Walker replaced Long as the starting inside linebacker alongside Jordan Brooks for the past 2 games. Long was active for both games but did not play a defensive snap in either. Long, who had 38 tackles in 6 starts this season, was due to become a free agent in March. His departure leaves the Dolphins with 4 inside linebackers: Brooks, Walker, Tyrell Dodson, and Channing Tindall, who hasn't played a defensive snap all season. Dolphins claimed Dodson on waivers this week, filling the roster spot of Tanner Connor, who went on the injured reserve with a knee injury. Connor had been the Dolphins' number 4 tight end, a role that could now be filled by Stoll, who had 22 receptions for 193 yards in 57 games in 4 seasons for the Eagles, who signed him as an undrafted free agent out of Nebraska in 2021. He spent his first 3 seasons with the Eagles, joined the Giants as a free agent this past March, and then was waived by New York in September. Philly re-signed him earlier this season, but released him this week. He had 2 catches for 10 yards and in 7 games with 2 starts. With the Dolphins, a 6'4", 247-pound Stoll will supplement a room that includes Julian Hill, Jonnu Smith, Durham Smythe. In another move at tight end, the Dolphins re-signed undrafted Wisconsin rookie Hayden Rucci to the practice squad. I like that move. I think Hayden Rucci is a guy who could legitimately. I think Hayden Rucci is going to be better than Julian Hill, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. He'll offer you more at the catch point, after the catch, and he'll be able to block the same way. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on here at tight end with the Miami Dolphins, especially as we head into another season. It'll be interesting to see where we go next year. So now with Smith's under the spotlight, with Kendall Fuller out indefinitely after a second concussion since mid-September, Cam Smith is expected to again be thrust into a significant role when the Gardner Minshew-led Las Vegas Raiders visit Hard Rock on Sunday. The Rams targeted Smith repeatedly on Monday, just as Arizona and Buffalo had in recent weeks. Smith's first extensive playing time of his career has produced less than desired results. Per PFF, Opposing quarterbacks have completed 13 of 15 targets in Smith's coverage area for 139 yards and 1 touchdown. That computes to a bloated 127.5 passer rating in his coverage area. Quote, I feel like I've been in a position to make plays, he said at his locker room on Wednesday. Quote, I haven't made the plays I want to do, but it's just my third game since I've been back. He said he must shore up his technique stuff, being in and out of breaks, making sure I keep my feet in and out of breaks, and able to jump and make the play, just the little things. Coaches must decide whether to give Smith all the cornerback snaps alongside Ramsey and Kohu, when the team uses 3 cornerbacks, or whether to inject Sierra Neal, Storm Duck, or Ethan Bonner in the mix. Neal played 1 defensive snap. Fuller has been ruled out for Sunday's game. Listen, the only one I would go for is Bonner and Duck. I haven't been a fan of Sierra Neal this year. I'd stay away from that. Though the Dolphins have said they expect outside linebacker Bradley Chubb to play this season, his return remains a ways off. I'm telling you, this guy's gone. I don't even know if he comes back this year. Chubb is not ready to begin his 21-day practice window. In fact, McDaniel said fellow outside linebacker Cam Good is further along in his recovery, and Good also isn't yet ready to practice. I would anticipate Good a little bit before Bradley, whenever that is, McDaniel said. Chubb sustained a torn ACL in week 17, and Good sustained a torn patellar tendon in week 18. Neither has practiced since training camp began, and both begin the season on the physically unable to perform list. Guard Isaiah Wynn, who's been on PUP all season with a leg injury, opened his 21-day practice window Wednesday. He's been dealing with a quadricep and knee injuries. The Dolphins held only a walkthrough on Wednesday, but if they had practiced, Wynn would have been limited. Alec Ingold also would have been limited. Tyreek Hill, Fuller, and Robert Jones, would have not practiced for the team, held a regular practice. The Raiders announced that Minshew is replacing Aiden O'Connell as their starting quarterback this week. Minshew has 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and a 80.2 rating in 8 games and 7 starts this season. Give it to me all day. This defense is going to eat that offense alive. If they play like how they played against the Rams, gonna be a long day for it's gonna be a real long day for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm here for it, especially because I'm gonna be there for it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Cam Smith, I keep saying it and I'll say it. Edge and corner are the hardest positions to master in the NFL. We are going through year 1 growing pains with Cam Smith right now. That's just where we're at. So, I mean, you can thank Fangio for what we're going through with Cam Smith right now. Cam Smith, if he would have got reps last year like he should have, things would have been figured out. So, that's what it is. And Dotson, man, they really are putting a lot of trust into Dotson being a potential answer. Can I be the first one to say that? Let me be the first one to say that. They are putting a lot of trust into that. So, all right. DeShon Elliott, he came out today and he talked a lot of smack about the Dolphins, like a ton of smack. So let's get into DeShon Elliott. He straight up dissed the Dolphins. I'll play the 2 clips that are really going around where he talks about the team being soft as F-U-C-K, and then he says the culture in Miami is why Miami will never win. Check it out.
Because I know he cannot wait to talk mess to the sideline when he makes a play. So this will be fun. This will be very fun. I haven't been able to play against Baltimore the way I wanted to, because last year I played for a team that was soft as fuck. I mean, oh my God, I can't put that on there. That was pretty soft. The guys on the team, but there were some guys who were tough. But like for the majority of the team, there was not mentally tough individuals. So to be on a team with a full team of mentally tough guys going against another mentally tough team and AFC North ball, it's gonna be fun, man. It'll be fun. I can't wait to see Marlon again. Like we were a really good team, and then the injury bug hit us.
Talking about the Dolphins,
the injury bug hit us, we played the Titans. When we played Tennessee and lost to Tennessee, you can tell the heart and soul for that team disappeared. We didn't have it anymore. Guys started going out more. Guys started going to the strip clubs throughout the week. Guys started showing up to meetings late. You can just tell like the Miami culture is the reason why Miami will never be good. Like Miami will never be a good football team, and I don't care. They will never be good because of the Miami culture. I think they have great players, but the culture's not going to be there. I don't care what anyone says. It's true.
So if you look at it right there, now listen, we'll get into some responses from players and stuff here, but let's break this down a few ways here, okay? Number one, let's start off with what he said at the beginning. Guys were going out to strip clubs, guys were late to practices. Now, earlier, Knight asked about, was he talking about X and was he talking about Cam? I think with X and the strip clubs, yes, he was talking about it. I wouldn't be shocked if certain other players that are still on the team, high-priced players, specifically one in the wide receiver room, I wouldn't be shocked if they were going out with X too. Because again, I go back to the Hard Knocks, and who was X always sitting next to in Hard Knocks? Tyreek. Tyreek wasn't sitting with Waddle and those boys. It was always X and Tyreek. So I wouldn't be shocked if that was a deal. As far as people showing up late, now I know Cam Smith was showing up late a little in the preseason. I can't verify in season, but what I can say is this. What I heard about Cam Smith and the maturity issues, this is just what I heard. I'm just saying, this is what I heard. I heard it was more about, Puff the Magic Dragon than it was, being late or anything like that. From everything I understood and everything I heard from, X and Ramsey privately going to bat for Cam Smith constantly trying to be a sponge. I don't think it was a lack of trying to take it in. I don't think it was a lack of trying to take it in or trying to be a better player from Cam Smith. I think it was more, from what I had heard, it was more off-field stuff. And this goes back to, remember how late Cam Smith got his money? Remember, he was one of the last draftees to actually get paid. And what was I reporting on the Patreon, for channel members only here, and then eventually took it public? What was I reporting? Right? I heard that they didn't want to give him that money and have him running around South Beach because they knew about those off-field issues. Right? From what I had heard, the agency was fronting him money. His agency, and then he had to pay them back when he finally signed his contract. But that's why I heard it took them so long to sign Cam Smith, was because they did not want that young kid with that big bag rolling around South Beach based on what they knew about him. Now, you could sit there and say, okay, well, if you're that worried to pay him, why did you draft him in the second round? Again, if you go to the mock drafts of me and Neil that year, I believe we both had him going in the first round. The tape was phenomenal. The talent was phenomenal. It was the off-field issues that dropped him to where he was for us. So, but he seems to have cleaned that up. Cut his hair. His cutting of his hair, from what I understand, was to send a message that I'm taking this seriously. I ain't joking around. I ain't messing around. I'm about ready to do this. That tells you, Chris Grier, no one had an in to the South Carolina coaches more than him as a GM. I mean, his kid went to the school and played on the football team. So that tells you how talented, and the rave reviews about the actual talent must have been if they knew what the off-field issues were. I'm just saying. Now we need to see that start to translate on Sundays, though. So, now, continuing on with what DeShon Elliott said here, because I got a lot to say about this. DeShon Elliott then going on about Miami culture. That's kind of a playoff, what he was talking about, guys going out to the strip club, right? I don't think he was necessarily putting that on the coaches. At least it sounds like. I mean, someone can ask him to clarify. But it sounded like he was putting the culture aspect more on the city than he was on the organization, in terms of all the temptations that are around that come with the Miami culture and lifestyle are always going to be a distraction and a reason why this team just never wins. And I thought about it today, okay? When we won in the 70s, let's be real. When we won in the 70s, the skyline hadn't been built by the Yayo money yet. Right? The Yayo hadn't flooded and hadn't built that skyline yet. So, okay, cool. But, does this mean... I think that's pretty much a blanket statement. So what? No team is ever going to be successful in Vegas? Brother, you might want to go check out the NHL and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And I would go check out the NHL. Why? Trust me, from a Canadian who's hockey and football are my favorite sports, who I played hockey at a decently high level growing up. And my brother played at a really high level. I've got family connected to me that play at a high level now. I got family connected to me that went to the show, the NHL. Okay, I'm more dug in with the NHL than I am with the NFL in terms of like bloodline ties and stuff like that and connections. But anyways, I digress. And I say all that to say this. Hockey players are freaking animals. So if hockey players, like, I'm telling you, they're animals. Like, absolute animals when it comes to women. Absolute animals. They're just unbelievably, like, they're just animals. And if a hockey team can win in Vegas, a football team can win in Miami. Please. You can't hit me with that. But I want to thank you, DeShon, for the bulletin board material. I want to thank you for that. Because that's what you provided for this team. This was Mike McDaniel's response to DeShon Elliott.
I am supremely only concerned with the 2024 Dolphins for sure, and I think that every team
exactly BX
mentally tough.
Tell me how the Heat could win.
Is definitely,
the Panthers could win. Give me a break.
Some of the stuff that we've been going through, and I think our team played a tough fought game the last 3 weeks, and ended up finding a way to win this past week, and I think that's not the easiest thing to do, and just worried about this year's team, and it's cool you said on a podcast. Cool podcast, Mike.
Hits him with the cool podcast. Here's what Tua said about it.
Every man, speaks for themselves. For him, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I've been able to have a lot of conversations with him last year, but that's it. Every man has their own voice. They should be able to speak what they feel, and that's how he feels. Cool. That's how he feels.
So that's what those gentlemen had to say about it. You go further than that, though, and you look at what other players on the team were saying. I guess it wasn't as positive as DeShon hoped it would have been. David Ferrona said, I asked Cater Kohu about DeShon Elliott's comments. Kohu said, quote, he's not here for a reason, obviously. I don't know why he would go on a podcast and say anything crazy like that. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. He could have went on the podcast and said what he wanted to say without trying to throw shots at us. I feel like when he leaves the Steelers, goes to another team, he'll probably do the same thing. I got no respect for it. I think DeShon, I didn't think DeShon was the toughest guy. Then you had Javon Holland say on DeShon Elliott, I heard he made the comments. I saw the clip. Honestly, man, if you want to call somebody, go ahead and do that and drop names. If you're not naming names, the rest of it is empty. Then you had Kendall Lamb. He didn't agree with what he said. He said, none of the SHIT he said really falls on my shoulders. I don't necessarily think we're a soft team from my perspective. You can always get a little mentally tougher. Even the mentally toughest teams in our league can be mentally tougher. But a soft team, no, I would disagree. Eichenberg said, it kind of speaks of the character of somebody to talk about another team after they left. I wish him the best. I think it's a mentally strong team. When you face adversity, people's true colors come out. So, The players certainly don't agree with what you're saying, DeShon. They certainly don't agree with it at all. So, hey, listen. Let's hope DeShon Elliott lit a fire under this team's ASS. You know what time it is. Right? You know what time it is. Let's hope that we got a fire lit up under, because we need it right now. So if you're going to give us bulletin board material, I'm here for it. I'll take it. At this stage of the game, we need it. We need it. We need everything we can to fuel this team to a winning streak. Congrats to Trill for signing with WWE's NXT. Is Trill still mad that I called him out? Yeah, Al says Raiders are about to get blown out. I mean, keep it going, man. You know, like, blow out the next two teams. You know, Drake May, my guy, he's playing well, but the Patriots aren't in your stratosphere talent-wise. Blow them out and then go make a statement at Lambeau Field and get back to 6-6, and let's have a conversation. Because then it's really going to be back. All right? Then we're really going to be back at it. So, man. Let's get into some of the film from Monday night. Let's break it down, see what the film tells us, because there were some good things, man. This team defensively and offensively on third down, they were lights out on Monday night. Loved what I saw from this team. 450 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. So let's get into this. This is the Dolphins' opening drive of the game. Fourth play of the drive, 3rd and 13 after a 5-yard loss by Achane was followed by a 2-yard run. 2 in the gun, Achane to his right, 2-by-1 receiver set, 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 6, 4-2 for LA, but they'll rotate to a cover 2 robber look. And watch Robert Jones on the left side. He's going to give up that B gap to Braden Fiske, who just works his outside shoulder and uses a chop move on the wrist to disengage Jones's hands. But watch Tua. He's going to step up, flush out to his left, reset his feet, and find Waddle, who's up that left side, who's going to stop on a streak route and come back towards Tua. Look at that. Boom. Beautiful stuff. Huge 36-yard gain. Great job by Tua to extend this play and convert the 3rd down. And this would be the theme of the night. Tua, 6 for 6 on 3rd downs. Unbelievable. Sorry, all 6 conversions on 3rd down were Tua passing plays. He wasn't 6 for 6 on 3rd downs. I meant all 6 conversions were Tua passing plays. So now it's next play. It's 1st and 10. 2 under center, Achane's a single back, 1-by-1 receiver set, 12 personnel for Miami. Cover 6, you got 2 to the left, 4 to the right in terms of coverage. Cover. They motion Smythe to the left and pull Eichenberg to that side to sell the Achane run, but it's an end around to Malik right there. And look at Craycraft. Look at Craycraft up the field at the 10. Already getting his hands dirty. Does just enough upfield. Blocking wise, Malik is in for 6. 7-0 after the extra point. Solid opening drive by Miami. And we were all feeling real lucky when we saw this, and we were all real happy. Who knew it would get real tough from here on out? So now this is the first play of the Rams drive. Their first drive of the game following Miami's opening touchdown. 1st and 10, Stafford under center. Kyron Williams a single back. 2 receivers stacked to the left. 12 personnel for LA. Miami shows cover 6. They show 2-4. It's a screen to the left to Kyron Williams, but watch Zach Sealer. He blows it up for a 10-yard loss. Welcome back, Zach. Look at that. What a play. I mean, you really appreciate it on this. Look at his read and recognition. He diagnosed the play quickly, crashes down on it, and LA would be forced to punt a few plays later as they couldn't dig themselves out of the hole caused by Sealer on this play. So this is the next Dolphins drive, 3rd and 10 after 2 incompletions, 2 in the gun, empty backfield, 3-by-2 receiver set, 11 personnel for Miami, cover 2 for LA. You're going to see Tyreek. He's going to motion at the snap, and the design kind of hurts Miami here. What Tyreek at the top of your screen is going to run, he is going to run he's going to run a crosser, but if you watch Jonnu, he's going to run like a stab and then extend the stab with a spin and a streak. And it's like an option route for him. And they overlap each other, and the ball is going to be meant for Tyreek, but Jonnu thinks it's for him. He's going to tip it, and the ball is put in harm's way. It's dangerous right there. It was clearly for Tyreek, who had a foot on his man. Miami would be forced to punt. Dangerous stuff here. All just because, look, it spins and then goes out, and you could tell that's for Tyreek. And, man, dangerous play. Miami would have to punt. So now it's the second Rams drive of the night after Miami's punt. 3rd and 9 after a 1-yard run by Williams and an incompletion to Nakua. Stafford's in the gun. Williams to his right. Kupp is going to motion to the left that you see right there. He's going to make a 3-by-1 look with trips bunch to the left. 11 personnel for Miami. Dolphins will be in Tampa 2 on this play. Watch Chop. Chop is got his hand in the dirt right there up at the top, 44. And you know what? He just wins off the snap with a stutter that gets him the inside on the B gap instantly for the sack. Watch this. Great inside move here by Chop. Stutter, boom, he's in. Look at that. Look how quick he's in, and it's over. Great inside move and use of speed by Chop. 2 games in a row with a sack. Leads the Dolphins in pressures again. Kid is figuring it out. 10-yard loss. This forces the Rams to punt. Remember, this is 3rd down. This is the Dolphins' offense and defense were huge on 3rd down. Look at that. Woo! Look how quick. Sold the outside like he's going to arc him out and then just cut back inside. And then the elite Chop celebration. Love it. Dolphins would wind up punting again after forcing the Rams to punt off the Chop sack. Rams have the ball back right now, 3rd and 7. Stafford in the gun, Williams to the right, 2-by-2 set with Kupp motioning to the left for a trips bunch set that will then be split. 11 personnel for LA right here. Miami, they're in cover 6, 4-2, but they'll shift to like a cloud 3-1 look post snap. Watch this. So from the top there at the 50, that's DeMarcus Robinson on the Rams. He's going to run a drag route. What you're going to see is Calais Campbell, who's in the middle here next to Sealer. He's going to tip the ball on the throw, and it goes right to Anthony Walker Jr. for the huge pick. And again, this is 3rd down, 3rd and 7. 2 straight defensive drives with 2 huge 3rd down plays. This one a turnover. And a big offensive conversion on 3rd down on the first drive that led to a touchdown. Already, 3rd down stops and conversions paying dividends for the Dolphins. Look at that. Gets the hand up. And let's go, Walker, baby. Let's go. The man who had David Long waived. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Good players getting rewarded for playing well. I love it. You know, I can't hate it at all. Next, Dolphins drive after the Walker pick. 3rd and 3 after a 15-yard run by Achane. Started this drive off, followed by a 2-yard run by Achane, and then a 5-yard run by Wright. 2 in the gun, empty backfield, 3-by-2 receiver set, 11 personnel for Miami. LA, they'll be in Tampa 2 on this. If you watch Tyreek in the top right slot, he's going to run a short curl, and it's going to rub out the coverage. And Waddle at the top of the screen is going to run a corner route. It's going to be like a slant, then a streak, then a corner. So, 2 is in the gun, empty backfield, 3-by-2 set. Like I said, Tampa 2 for LA. And Tua makes the throw here. And Waddle flat out drops the perfect ball. This would have converted the 3rd down and got Miami to the LA 16 at minimum. But watch him after. Look at, see? Waddle's pointing to his eyes. He's indicating that the lights blinded him and caused the drop. That's what he's indicating with that. Watch it again. Corner strike. Look at open the rub route. Look at opened it up. Man, good design and it worked. Need better execution. Nice throw by Tua. You got to execute these plays. Miami would settle for a field goal, make it 10-0 on this drive. But you were, man, look at, and he points to his face. He's saying about blinded. So Rams have the ball back now, 3rd and 7. Stafford in the gun, Williams to his left, 2-by-2 set with cut motion into the right to make it a 1-by-3 look. 11 personnel for LA. Miami in cover 3, but they'll shift to cover 4 here. Ogba He's off that left, well, Stafford's left, your top right edge. He's going to come up the middle on the stunt. Stafford's going to have a good pocket, but that pressure from Ogba is going to make him step up into Calais Campbell, who's to the left of Sealer right there, going wide, right into that B gap, and boom, sack. Defense again comes up big on a third down with a sack. This is a 3rd and 7 again. So, great. Look at the stunt by Ogba here. Off your left side, he'll come to the middle. Watch Calais Campbell next to Sealer there on the right side. He's lined over right now over the B gap, shading the inside shoulder of the tackle, right? So, yeah, watch this move here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man, that first, I'm telling you, you need to re-sign this guy. If he's willing to come back for another year, please bring him back for another year. The guy is just unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. He's so good. Like, Calais Campbell is just so good. Like, please. All right? You see him lined up. It's the 4-eye there. And he just gives pure issues. Just pure issues as the 4-eye. Love it. All right. 2 in the gun. You got a 2x3 set. Empty backfield right here. After the Rams had to punt off that 3rd down sack. 2nd and 14 after Achane lost 4 yards to start the drive. 2 in the gun, empty backfield, 2x3 set for Miami, 11 personnel. LA shows cover 1, but they'll drop to cover 2. It's just not a smart decision from Tua here. If you look at Waddle, he's going to force the ball towards Waddle on his crosser. Watch the linebacker drop right into the middle. He's gonna buck drop and take away that middle of the field. Tua doesn't see him, makes a throw. Linebacker undercuts it. What's this? Right here, look at it. Bad throw. Take what the defense gives you, because if you go back here, look what we got here. Watch the underneath stuff. You got Tyreek on a drag all day. You got to ID that linebacker, and you got to take what the defense gives you right there. The throw is Tyreek. I know people are going to say, well, what about the left side, the bottom left with Achane, I believe that is. The problem with that is the overhanging safety. You know, you got that safety over top. The smart take what the defense gives you move here is the drag. You got to notice the buck drop, right? As that on that Tampa 2 look, because that's what they dropped to, like a Tampa 2 look from cover 2 to Tampa 2. They showed cover 1, but they dropped to Tampa 2. And you got, come on, man. You got to ID that linebacker buck dropping. Not a good play from Tua. Bad turnover for the offense. Got to take what the defense gives you on this play, my friend. You've been doing it so well since you came back. Didn't do it well. You forced and off your back foot. Come on, bro. You didn't even plant and drive. So now the Rams, they have the ball back after the pick. Stafford under center, I formation, 2 receivers stacked to the left, 12 personnel for the Rams. Miami, they show cover 2. Kyron Williams, he'll take the handoff. He'll cut back to the left, and look at Walker and Hand. They converge on the ball carrier, and Hand seems to get in there, and Ogba too, and they knock the ball out. And the ball is out. Kendall Fuller recovers it, and it's Miami Dolphin football. The defense again stands tall with a huge response to the INT. Absolutely love to see it. Love to see it. Great stuff. Look at that. Walker converges. Here comes Ogba and Hand. Balls out. Love it. Here we go. Come on, offense. It's your turn now. So, offense gets the ball back. Next drive after the fumble recovery here. 3rd and 13 after the drive started positively with a 12-yard gain on a throw to Tyreek. Then a loss of 3 on a right run was followed by an Achane screen that went nowhere. 2 in the gun, empty backfield, 2x2 receiver set, 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 2 for LA. And Verse. Watch Verse. He's going to, at the number 8 right down here, he's going to disengage from Armstead and just put Robert Jones on skates. He'll push him back with a bull rush. And then he'll sack Tua for a loss of 10. But look at this. Right here, Tua's got to get it out underneath to Jonnu. See Jonnu leaking out? Boom, ball should be out. It should be out to either underneath route. You've got them both. But he's looking for OBJ and he's looking for a big play here. Ball's got to be out. Instead, he takes the sack. And it's a fumble. And it's an LA recovery. Not good play from Robert Jones, but Tua could have avoided this. Look at Robert Jones is just a liability. Give me Isaiah Wynn any day of the week. All right. The Rams get a field goal off the fumble recovery. Dolphins have the ball back, and it's 2nd and 5. 4th play of the drive. 2 under center. Achane's a single back. 2x1 receiver set, 11 personnel from Miami. LA in cover 2. Watch this. Again, Robert Jones is going to get beat. Tua's going to fake the handoff, and Kobe Turner is going to beat Robert Jones with a swim over move as Jones never latches and locks out. Tua got to get rid of the ball, though, when Kobe slipped there. But so you watch it here. Robert Jones, his hands are going to be all over the place. Just poor hand placement all over the place. Tua needs to get rid of this ball when Turner slips, to be honest, but he holds on to it looking for the big play, instead takes a big sack. Dolphins would punt 2 plays later. So it's still 10-3, but the Rams have the ball back after the latest Miami punt. 1st and 10, Stafford in the gun. Williams to his right. 2x1 receiver set, 11 personnel for LA. Cover 3 for the Dolphins. And watch this. Quentin Bell off the left, Stafford's left edge, our top right edge. He hits the tackle with a Euro step to the outside and then a double-handed swipe to keep the tackle's hands at bay, which works. Blindside lane to Stafford. Boom, ball's out. Hits him, forces the fumble. Man, the defense is swarming, but unfortunately they don't recover. And LA would kick a field goal on this drive. Look at that. Nice Euro step, nice double-handed swipe. Good stuff from Quentin Bell. About time this guy made a play after all the offseason hype. Second half now. It's 10-6. Dolphins ball after the Rams missed a field goal on the first drive of the half. 3rd and 3. Again, 3rd down. 2 in the gun. 3x2 receiver set. Empty backfield. 13 personnel. Rams in cover 1. Tua is going to hit Jonnu on the quick end. Or on the quick in right here, and he does the rest. Watch him. He's going to split defenders right here. And then he's going to bounce off that tackle attempt right there. And he's all the way down to the 1-yard line. What a play by Jonnu. What an effort. Extend this man, please. Him and Calais hit it out of the park, man. Look at that. Boom. Splits the defenders. Bounces off that tackle. Gets out. Oh, man. If Achane gives him a better block, he might be home free. What an effort. So now it's the next play after the Jonnu gain. 2 in the pistol with Achane. 1x1 receiver set. 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 0. Red zone for LA. Tyreek Hill is tight in line to the left. 2 is going to take the snap. And he's going to find him wide open for 6 on the quick out route. Just boom. Fakes the handoff. He's there. Good throw. Tuck it and ensure the 6. 17-6 for Miami after the extra point. Boom. Right there. Also had Waddle in the back. He also had the back of the end zone too there, eh? Next Rams drive after the Miami touchdown. 3rd and 7. Stafford in the gun. Williams to his right. Trips bunch to the left. A tight end to the right. 11 personnel for LA. Miami shows cover 3. The defense gets penetration up the middle with Chop and Brooks. While look at Holland come clean off that right edge. Oh, boy. Stafford's a dead man walking as he takes a huge sack on 3rd down. Look at this. Another huge 3rd down play to force the field goal attempt, which would make it 17-9. Watch Holland to your left, how clean he comes off. Then watch Brooks on the look at Chop on the stunt. he came through too. If Holland wasn't going to get you, Chop was going to get number 2. Love to see it. We almost saw Chop Robinson's second sack of the game right there. He got through pretty clean on that stunt. Next Dolphins drive, 2 in the gun. Right beside him, 1-by-1 receiver set. 12 personnel for Miami. Cover 3 for the Rams. Tyreek motions to the left. Now, Tua's going to clearly want Durham Smythe on the dig, but he's not going to trust the linebacker underhanging. Not going to catch him 2 times in a row. And look at Lester Cotton in left guard. He's going to straight up lose his hand fight with his man, while Verse, has Lamb pushed back, and Turner's just going to finish off the sack because he just beats Lester. So this will be 3rd and 19. Tua clearly wanted Smythe's dig on this, didn't trust the linebacker, and, look at just a bad job by Lester Cotton. Not good. And Lamb was put on skates there too. So this is the next play after the sack, 3rd and 19. Huge third down. 2 in the gun. Moser to his right. 3-by-1 receiver set for Miami. 11 personnel. LA will show cover 2. Watch this. Mostert to his right is going to be matched up one-on-one with Verse, who's going to easily blow by him. But guess what? Tuscaloosa Tua comes out. Watch this. He's going to spin off the sack attempt right there. Mostert leaks out. He finds Mostert. Beautiful touch up the right sideline. And my friends, that is a 25-yard completion, catch and run for a first down. Mostert leaked into open space. Tua found him off the great spin move. Ton of green in front of him. Let's go. Another huge 3rd down conversion for this offense with the 25-yard pickup. Miami would settle for a field goal 4 plays later, 20-9. So, Rams would add another field goal on their next drive to make it 20-12. Dolphins get the ball back with 6:31 left in the 4th, up by 8. Time to seal this baby. 3rd and 6, 2 in the gun. Tyreek was going to motion to the left for an empty backfield look right here. 3-by-2 look. Cover 2 for LA, but they'll switch to a robber look. Cover 2 robber look. Watch this. Turner's going to come free on the stunt. Tua's going to roll out to his left on the move. And watch OBJ. He gets wide open on. Look at his whip route. Wide open. Tua on the move. Finds him. Completion. And really, if you watch this, he gets open because of Tyreek's route. Tyreek's route is going to take the defender. Watch. Right there. When he steps it up, 24 bails off the whip. Wide open underneath. Good design. Good find. Good execution. First down, baby. OBJ does what he was brought here to do. But again, look at 91, Turner. He'll come free on that middle. He's in the nose right now. He'll come free on that stunt right there. Boom. Look at that. Verse almost got there again. So this is the next play after the OBJ conversion. 1st and 10, 2 in the gun. HN to his right. 2 receivers stacked to the left. 2 split wide to the right. 11 personnel for Miami. LA in cloud 31. HN, he's going to slide out at the snap. And 2 is going to deliver an absolute dime to Malik Washington on the deep out. Watch Malik at the bottom here. Right outside the numbers. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Ooh. Right outside the outreaching defender. 2 is starting to trust the rookie with a critical throw on a critical drive. Look at this. Watch this. Pumps. Look at that. Look at that window he fit that ball in. Look at that window he fit that ball in the bracket. Miami and Tua would then seal the game a few plays later with a field goal. And LA would add a field goal of their own, but run out of time and lose to the Miami Dolphins 23-15. Loved what I saw on film. Tua was very hit or miss, but on 3rd down, he was money. He was money, including that Waddle drop. Defense found a way to be even more money on 3rd down. The offense and the defense found a way to complement each other finally, and it was on 3rd downs. Love it. Tua made some big throws. Defense made big plays. Man, they play like this moving forward and they continue to tighten things up. Anything is possible moving forward. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I want you to really understand that. So I like what I saw from the tape. Guys, the NFL schedule and all the props and player props are live on BetUS right now. The show is sponsored by BetUS. Go to betus.com right now. Use promo code YouTube150 and get your first 3 deposits matched by 150% up to $2,000. Some of the quickest payouts in the industry, 24/7 customer service. Just remember, gamble responsibly, and shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the show. Guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock with Neil Driscoll. Make sure you tune in. Over 400 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. And I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for Fin Too Deep. Fins up, baby.